So, good morning or good night, depending on where you are in the world, and welcome to another interview of the Shield Dude on a Couch. I'm your host, Hector, and today I'm joined by Scott Fairfax, and he's from the band As the World Dies. And we're here to talk about their sophomore album that's going to be released on March 21st, and it's called Nebula. So, first of all, Scott, how are you today?
Not too bad, not too bad. Had a long day at work and a long night of interviews, but it's real good fun. Yeah, looking forward to hearing some of these questions you've got.
Yeah, well, with more, it's more like a loose chat. I don't have like a list of questions. But yeah, I listened to the album and I also listened to your first album to get an idea of like the change in sound. And one thing I got like from the first album to this, the first album was very aggressive. This one is still aggressive, but I think the songs are more progressive and there's more of like a progression in the songwriting. So yeah, so let's talk about that. And I know you play some keyboards with the band, right?
Yeah, all the keyboards and the piano parts are strung together at home. Yeah, I've done all them.
Yeah.
Uh, it's just something, I play guitar all the time, and
Mhm.
sometimes just tinkering around on. I'll go on Facebook Live, and I'm playing the piano and just messing about. So it's a bit of fun to put them on an album.
Yeah, no, and it gives it like a different flair to it. So I know the record right now, there's you have already two singles out, one with a video. You have Dark Oblivion and I Am the One.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Dark Oblivion. I thought that was a like great track. So tell me a little bit about like the like what this track is about, like maybe the themes and the all around the record, and especially this track in particular.
Yeah, the themes. Well, each track has got quite a similar theme. It's about a lone survivor on his journey. So he encounters different feelings, uh, but it can be. How do I describe it? You can make your own mind up what you think it's about as well. It's not
Hmm.
a definite set. This is what's happening. It's just like a look into his worry and his stress levels, and like I say, a journey. That one, the Dark Oblivion, he's in a really dark place. You don't know what to do, what direction to turn. Which gives it a really dark atmosphere. And the middle section with the guitar part as well, that it just adds an epicness to it. Uh, yeah, so each one's got its own little theme, its own little story within a story. We're not purposely set out to do that. It's not like a concept album, but it's just the way it all happened naturally. I don't tell our vocalist what to write about, you know,
Hmm.
um, and it's just a natural thing that it's continued on from the first album, if anything, but the music's changed a bit. As you said, it's more epic, more um, film score in a way. I think of it like some of it could be in a film, in the background.
Yeah. Plus, you use those like synths that gives it like a more of like a sci-fi haunting
Yeah.
vibe to some of the tracks. So I know you guys wrote this in the studio Riff Central. Tell me a little bit about the difference of working on this follow-up album, because the first album, you on your first album is like a clean slate. You like, since you never had an album, you can do whatever you want because there's not expectation. So tell me, like, what was different when you came into album number two, Nebula?
Well, album number one, firstly, was a collection of different aged songs. So some of them were at the time 11 years old, a couple of them, and then you
Oh
had
wow.
brand new ones, and you had ones that were a couple of years old, you know, but when you go to rehearsal, you start jamming. Oh, do you remember that one? Let's play that one. You know, so we had a collection of songs. Now with the new album, um, there's only one old song, which is the second track. You know, which is probably the most brutal track on there. Um, but all the others are written and recorded all in the 11 months that I was working on it. You know,
Yeah.
so
So
that's why
you're
you
talking
get that.
about Consumed. Consumed was a track that you had before.
Yeah, well, I'll say 11 years old. It'd be 13 years old now, consumed, which is, it is different from the others, but it fits into the storyline of the album as well. You know, because you're going from the first track, the intro, which is warming you up, and then you hit with the second track. And it's the energy. It keeps the energy of the album flowing, I think.
Yeah, no, I think it goes well with the other tracks. I have like my favorite tracks from the album are in the middle. Uh, like I love well, almost at the middle. I love Playing God, which is one of the longest tracks, as like almost like 7-8 minutes. That one really, the progressive elements to it are real good, and I was trying to listen to it and get the lyrics because it sounds like it's a warning sign of someone trying to obviously play God, but it doesn't go right.
Yeah, that's exactly what it's about. Yeah, um, you know, it's also about control and people trying to control you. So yeah, but that track I've said the long. I think is the longest one on the album. It's got all the elements of As the World Dies. Every element's in there. You've got the middle section, which is really epic as well. You've got the big riffs, the doomy style riffs as well. So it's got everything in that track. That's one of our favourites to play live as well. Because we've just done a couple of shows in the UK, and that goes down really well. Everyone's nodding to that one. So
Yeah, and I think also the themes can be interpreted on different things because uh, not only like someone playing God in like in religion, it could be government, it could be a doctor. It could play to so many things. Just people like going above and beyond because of abuse of like power and thinking that they know it all. So yeah, I
exactly.
think it's a song that it can be interpreted different ways.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've tried to do that with everything really, because I don't want to get pigeonholed as a political band or religious hate band or whatever. Because either of them, I am not interested in. Personally, I don't like religion or politics. So, and with Memoriam, with Carl, he is very political, and
Mhm.
I've tried to keep that totally out of this band because, as you said, you make your own mind up what the song's about, and it's quite easy to do that with the way we've left the tracks. You can actually make your own mind up.
Yeah, and so yeah, that is actually the longest track on the record, but you have two back-to-back long tracks because Voices of Angels is quite long too, and that one, uh, there's some female vocalists, like doing some choir. Like, who's that vocalist?
Oh, I can't tell you the secrets to that. That's
Ah,
can't tell you them secrets. Um, that's actually I'm actually in the background as well of that, and I pitched it up a little bit as well. So
oh, okay, yeah,
there's all,
yeah,
all sorts of little. I don't know if you noticed, but you can listen to it, and every time you'll hear something different. And if you go onto a different system, you'll hear something again that's different. The way I've panned the album, and depends how much bass you've got going on in your system as well. There's all lots of different elements that you might not hear the first time round. A lot of
yeah.
hidden stuff that is just there, just about hear it.
The Easter eggs, like
Yeah.
like they call them in movies and stuff. So let's look at the artwork for the album, which is a pretty cool artwork. So here we have it. So here's the Nebula artwork. So tell me a little bit about what the band wanted to convey with this artwork.
Okay. Well, because my previous bands and the first album, we had like proper death metal artwork in a way, painting or drawing. We decided, no, we don't want that. We want something that stands out, and we want an actual physical photo. So that little guy there is actually downstairs in my house. He's on my fish tank downstairs. That little angel's head. I think he was a cherub. He was in a tree. He was up in a tree the whole thing many years ago, and I don't know if I should be telling you this, but my girlfriend at the time loved that thing. She kept it, oh, I'm going to bring it in from the cold because it's going to be in the winter. So when we split up, I shot it at the tree. So I shot it at the tree and I ended up with a head. And so I've had that head about 8 years now, that decapitated angel. And it's just been sitting around. And Chris come up with the idea of, let's put that on the album cover because it's got a bit of history behind it. I was going through a dark
Yeah,
time then, and this is a
yeah.
dark album, and it's also saying dismember humanity in a way, or dismember your ideas of what you think's happening, or it's all sorts of things. Again, you can take it however you want to take it, but we kind of wanted the standout album, which white with the angel's head lying down. Kind of got the idea from that last Carcass album. I
Oh,
bought that, and it's I love a white cover. Just stands out. I think Devin Townsend he's done a, what was that? Was it Christine EP? He had a white cover on that as well when he's just sitting in the middle. And I think they just really stand out, a white cover. So it's got a lot of history behind it. Um, and again, the title Nebula, uh, look up to the sky. Go within yourself and look at what's happening in your life. But because something could go wrong at any point, and to the actual character in the storyline, it has gone wrong for him. So you're taking on a journey with him and just make your own mind up what you think's going to happen.
interesting. And it's a good thing, that that you got to keep that head from your ex-girlfriend favorite angel. See, and now when she looks at the cover, she'll be like,
Uh, she would have no interest whatsoever. She never at the time, so she
she
won't have
will
any interest now.
she will send her a copy.
Oh, nah, nah, I'm not getting anything else out of me. Nothing.
Yeah, good thing, good thing. Well, I thought it would have been a good like Valentine's Day, like F you
No, thank you. No,
thing. No, 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 no.
no,
But yeah,
definitely
it's
not.
good. It's a cool story about like and just having it, and it looks cool. Uh, so yeah.
Yeah, I like to put a lot of stuff that happens in my life into my music. So, you
Mm.
know, I wouldn't, none of these songs were created when that happened, but that darkness, it stopped in that angel's head in a way, you know, and it keeps moving around my house, not on its own, but it does. It keeps, well, I'm sick of seeing that. And then one day it was in the studio and Chris picked it up and it was like a little box that it like put me plectrums in. It was just on top of there. And he looked at it, he goes, that'd be good. So I don't set out to do it, it was his idea. So now you know the
Well,
story behind it.
now, yeah, maybe some of the other interviewers didn't ask you, so I got the exclusive
Well,
story
yeah, yeah.
behind the head on the album, which
If,
is
if you wait for 30 seconds and I can go and get it and show you.
yeah, I can wait for 30 seconds. Yeah,
Well, you want
while
a
you get the
second?
head. So yeah, so Couchers, I'm just waiting for so we can see the actual head in real time. So this will be interesting. So let's wait a little bit.
Okay.
So Scott is back. So let's see the head.
Yeah, there you go.
Ah,
There he is.
isn't that sweet? In the album cover, you think like it would be like a huge head, but no. Yeah,
No, it's only a small one. But
nice.
he was in a tree, the whole body and everything, hanging in a tree, and I shot him with a pellet gun. So,
That's hilarious, man. So yeah, the album, the album has some great guitar parts to it, and it's a great mixture of death metal with progressive type of metal. So you told me that one of your favorite tracks is the one that we talked about, which is Playing God. But I want to ask you, like, was there a song on this album that maybe was more difficult to create, like maybe was giving the band some trouble?
um, I think the second track, Consumed, the older track, um, that was difficult to record because it had to be bang on. Bang, you have to absolutely spot on with the timing. Because if you went out a tiny little bit, it just didn't have the groove. You've got to have that groove. And the other one that was difficult was Final Resting Place.
That's the one
Uh,
that ends the album. Yeah.
yeah, that was recorded, finished recording 2 days before going to mixing. You
Oh
know,
wow.
yeah. So I recorded all the music, and I was sitting back thinking, "Are we going to leave this just instrumental?" And I thought, I need to get the vocals on this. It really needs them. Adds to them. So I wrote the vocals as well. So I kept having these phrases come through, and I thought, oh, I've got to get Jay round here. So I phoned him up, get round here, get round the studio now. We need to record this, and he did it in 2 takes.
Oh wow.
So
Yeah.
yeah, did it in 2 takes, um, and that was 2 days before we sent it off to mastering. So absolutely, yeah. So that was the only hurdle because I didn't know what to do. Do I leave it or do I put vocals on? I'm glad I put the vocals on because it's probably my favorite track.
Yeah. No, and it's funny that sometimes some of the most memorable tracks are the ones done last, because I've heard of so many bands that probably had the hit single and they're like, oh, that song almost didn't make the record.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, so
It,
yeah. So
it's always the songs you don't think are going to be liked so much that get liked because you get you get too close to an album when you're writing it. And like Frank Healy from Memoriam says, sometimes you just got to let it go. And when you do, they sometimes pick the ones that you don't think they're going to pick. They like them ones, not the ones that you like. So yeah,
yeah, you never know. Maybe your least favorite track could be everyone's favorite. So
yeah.
you find out when you put them out. So the album, you're gonna release it on March 21st. So are there some shows, some tours planned?
Yeah, we've got a few UK shows. We're just developing our live set at the minute, which is 60-40 new, the first and second album. We're going a bit. We're going to try and get as many new songs into the set as possible, but we're not really a headline band yet because craft. We need to craft our live show, but we have actually got a headline show coming up in April. So in Birmingham, but we're trying to get this released. We're not thinking too much of live shows until we know we can really pull it off. I don't want to go out there half-assed about it. We've got to nail it before we go out properly live. But we want to get over to Europe and do a few shows over there. Get over to Germany because Germany's a massive market, and obviously we do the UK as much as we can.
Yeah, and I know if people get the CD, there's a bonus track. That's very 90s of you. with consummation, because people like the kids today don't know. They're like bonus tracks, like hidden tracks. They're like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah,
But,
that
but back in the day, that was like fun when you found that bonus track. Or I liked it more when it was hidden.
yeah, that's only on the CD. Yeah, the vinyl hasn't got that because time constraints, obviously. But yeah, that's a bonus track with Jeanette DeRoy, a good friend of mine, on vocals. She's done a killer job. Um, so I sent her that track. She actually sent that back, the vocals back, because she's in is it Belgium? No, it's not. Where is she? Holland? Yeah, she's from Holland. What am I thinking? So she sent that over the internet, all in three different channels, so I could mix them left, right, and centre and whatever. Done a really killer job on that one.
Awesome. Yeah, no, it's a cool track as well. So yeah, it seems like the band. There's good things coming for the band this year. More shows. And where can people follow the band if they want to know more about As the World
Yeah,
Dies?
we've got all the media you can think of. We've got Facebook, Instagram, we've got the lot, everything. So just type in As the World Dies, you will find us. We've got the website as well, astheworlddies.com. Facebook is Brum Death Metal at facebook.co.uk. And obviously, if you go to Reaper, I've got a nice
Hmm.
section on there as well, all about us. Uh, and soon we'll be doing our own YouTube channel as well, which will have live rehearsals and clips and just random stuff in the studio, I guess, and might actually delve into people's lives as well.
Yeah. So and for people, here's what we're talking about. Here's where you can uh, pre-order the album, or like it says play somewhere, but so this is the where you want to go. So yeah, I'll post this link on the description for people that want to know. So
Cool.
Scott, I know you've had a long day, interviews, work, but I thank you, for taking some time of your night to chat with me about As the World Dies and Nebula. So before I let you go, anything that you would like to say to the fans?
Yeah. If, for everyone who's bought the first album, thank you for support, and for everyone who's going to buy the second album, hopefully, thank you, and I hope you enjoy it as much as I did creating it. And I will see you on the road somewhere.
Awesome. So again, Scott, thank you for joining me from
No
Birmingham
problem.
here to Puerto Rico. So Couchers, As the World Dies, Nebula out March 21st. If you like death metal with progressive tendencies, go check them out. Really cool stuff. So until next time, Couchers, this is Hector, the Shield Dude on a Couch, and I'll see you all right here on the couch. Thank you and goodbye.